In our other video, we showed you how to install the SuperMount into the GoPro Hero camera, and today we're going to show you how to install a SuperMount filter in between the sensor and the SuperMount. So we're going to take the faceplate off, undo all the screws, after you've undone the screws, pull this apart, grab the lens surround, carefully scissor it open. Now this is about all you need to take apart, except for the 4 screws to hold the sensor on. You don't need to do anything else. Once you have the 4 screws undone, holding the sensor on the SuperMount, flip the sensor over. Now we have a 3mm deep filter cavity that we've cut into the SuperMount, and this is where we're going to be installing the SuperMount filter. This filter is our NDVI blue. So we're going to take the filter and make sure you take a microfiber cloth and give it a good clean. You don't want any dust on the filter. Do a visual inspection, make sure there's nothing on it. Then you're going to drop it into the SuperMount. You want to make sure that it sits flat in there. You can use a cloth again to push it down into the SuperMount. Once it's installed, you just have to reassemble the camera. So you can see inside there, the yellow filter there. All right, we now have a Hero 4 Black with our SuperMount and a SuperMount filter installed. And then depending on the type of filter that you've installed, you will install the appropriate lens. This is our 5.4mm lens. I have 2 versions here, one that has a red IR cut filter on the bottom and one that does not. So the IR cut filter blocks infrared light and only lets you see visible light. The lens without a filter on it will allow all wavelengths of light through. For this particular filter, we are selecting for the blue band and the near IR band. And so we want to be able to see that near IR band, which means that we want to install the lens that does not have an IR blocking filter. If we were to install this lens that blocks IR light, all we would see is the blue band with this filter. But we want to see both the blue and the IR band, so we're going to install the lens without the IR cut filter. Installation is very simple. You just take the lens and thread it into the SuperMount, making sure to align the lens threads with the SuperMount threads and being very careful not to cross thread. This particular lens goes down until it's sticking about 1/8 of an inch or so up above the black lens surround. Most of the lenses will be threaded in past where you can grab onto it with your fingers, and you want to use some needle nose pliers with shrink tubing or electrical tape on the teeth to reduce marring on the lens. So I've put it into about where it needs to be, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put a battery in it, put a LCD screen onto the back, turn it on, and put an object there. Alright, so you can see that we are actually pretty focused. Yeah, it's pretty much spot on for this little screen. To go better focused, you're going to want to plug the camera into a larger HD monitor and typically go outside where you can have a large distance to see things that are in the distance. Check the focus. Alright, it looks like we're pretty well focused here already, just by twisting the lens in to that distance that it's at now. As you can see, it sticks out a little bit, the 5.4 lens does, but it's not enough to mean that it won't fit in the waterproof housing. But yeah, basically this filter in here now allows us to see blue and IR light. It's used for NDVI agricultural analysis for checking plant health. And this is how to convert your camera, your GoPro camera, into a NDVI camera.